Hello everyone, welcome to a lecture series of financial management. So today's lecture number 20 of financial management. So in this today's lecture, we are going to focus on a point of entrepreneurial decisions. So if anybody want to be an entrepreneur, so what things you have to follow, or what are the different points you have to take into a consideration if you want to start a new business. So that considering that points uh, we are going to discuss what are the different aspects are there that one has to be considered to become a good entrepreneur. So continuing the previous lecture of video 19, so we will move to the slide. Okay, so this is an entrepreneurial decision points that we are going to discuss in today's lecture. So if we see the first point, so very first point, if you see, so we'll start with the introduction. What is the introduction, or a little bit we will see what is an entrepreneur means. Again, we will see what are the different launching to start any business or to launch any business, what a new entrepreneur he have to take into consideration different points. So the points are likewise the objectives, the idea, the product, marketing research, form of organization, and so many things. So a little bit we'll see what is an introduction or what is an entrepreneur means. If you see a community, any community, so that community satisfies its want by using its productive resources, isn't it? So any community it satisfies its wants. So there are two things: wants are needs, isn't it? So a need means it is a basic requirement that any individual have to be get fulfilled, and wants are the things which are apart from the needs. So if you want to satisfy any community, so it wants the productive resources, land, labor, and capital. So any entrepreneur, if you want to start any business, he requires these four basic things, isn't it? So what is that four basic things? First one is resources, productive resources, land, labor, and capital. So the person who supplies these four factors and then coordinates all the factors of production, he is known as an entrepreneur, isn't it? So who coordinates all these four factors, as I said, resources, land, labor, capital, is known as an entrepreneur. So the entrepreneur is frequently, mainly he is defined as a person who is responsible for a policy, who organizes and coordinates the work of other three factors, and take the decision which are necessary to set up the firm or a business and keep it in line with changing pattern of a demand. So a good entrepreneur, he is not only stick to a some product, or he is not only stick to a one thing. He have to change his pattern, he have to change his productivity as per the demand of a society. So he is called as a good entrepreneur. So generally we can say he is the king of a business world, of his own business world. And whatever the activity, whether the activity he chooses, so that activity he will be the responsible to the different activities which is going on into the firm or in his own organization. So he is responsible with the numerous problems, and his ultimate success will depends on his ability and how he handle or how he tackle each and every problem in his organization. Okay, so some skill he have to acquire before start any organization. So he will have to tackle the recurring problems in course. Also he will have to take a decision with regards of alternative forms of organizations, especially when he faces with the problems of expansion of his business. So obviously, if a good entrepreneur he starts his business, after 1 year or 2 year will not stop. So he will try to expand his own business. So what are the different strategies which is required to expand his business? You have to take into consideration, and taking the employees higher authorities as well as the lower authority into his trust or into the confidence, you have to expand the business. So some skill a good entrepreneur requires. If you see, to launch any business organization or any firm, what kind of a thing you have to get acquired, so that are enlisted below. So if you see in the slide, so what are that setup or what are that launching. So first one is objective. So the very first decision will relate to the determination of an objective, isn't it? If any person he want to start any business, the objective should be very clear. So what he want to do. So in setting an objective, he is concerned with the future and clearly define the objective, provide the guiding as well as how the company will grow or how the care of the company will take place in the future, or what are the planning can be done in future. So all these things you have to first decide, and you have to first decide the goal, isn't it? So you have to first define the objective of the different things what you want to achieve or what is his plan in the future. So based on that objective, after that he can uh, go to an idea. So other step in this an inauguration of an enterprise is the development of an idea, that there is a specific business opportunities, isn't it? So the idea may rise from the knowledge of an unused supply of a raw material, or from the observation of inferiority of some articles or service holding the fields, or from the knowledge that certain firms are making the large profit, or from the knowledge such as an suitable opportunity has to be last arrived from utilizing the knowledge. So one has gained the particular branch of the business. So idea is very important. What kind of an idea you want to get implement in his firm or in his organization. So by taking the experience, or by taking, we can say generally a literature survey, by taking a survey or by taking the knowledge of different things, he can find out the idea what he want to get implement in his own organization. Next one is what? The product. So obviously the product is a very important thing. So he will have to decide what to produce in his firm. So he will obviously enter that branch of industry or a commerce which offers the best chance of profit. So his decision will also depends on his own ability and preferences as well as the preferences of an consumer. So preferences of consumer is very important. So based on that only, you have to think what kind of a product he can produce in his firm. So in addition to the chance of making the profit, he will also be guided by his own background and temperament. So his technical knowledge, his personal interest, or we can say his estimate of different degrees of risk in different industries, or the amount of capital required, and his estimate of his own ability. So all these things have to be taken into consideration while finalizing the product design. So before choosing the product, we'll have to be see the potential of the market, and for this purpose, the marketing research is very important. So first of all, you have to see which kind of an product it has a much more demand in the market, and based on that product only, based on that survey only or research only, he can decide what kind of product he can produce in his firm. Okay. So next one is marketing research. So since the first business of every business uh, is to get customer and keep the customer. So that is a very important goal, isn't it? So first of all, you have to get the customer. You have to take the trust of the customer into confidence, and then you have to keep that customer for a long time with you. So that is the first goal. So he will have to ask the different questions. So what kind of a question he have to ask to himself? So first one is what? Will the customer buy the product what he produce in the firm? So that is the first. Or will they buy all the priced which has been defined by a company. So whether the product which has been produced, whether the customer are able or they are affordable to purchase that price what the firm have decided. So this thing again. Next is, will they buy all the places at the places it will be available. So again, the location or the distribution of the product also very important. And the next one, will they buy in package it comes in. So again, the marketing or the packaging strategy is also very important. So will they buy it again and again? Yes. So some products are there, once it get buy it is not required to get purchase for a long time. So while manufacturing a product, a marketing research has to be done. So whether that product, the cost it is affordable to a customer, or whether the price of the customer it is high or low, or whether that product it is available in market everywhere, or it is restricted to some area, or how is the packaging of that product. So all these things, or whether the frequent customers are there to get that product again and again. So all these things one have to consider while finalizing the product. So answer to these questions, it varies from a product to product, isn't it? So the potential success of the product depends upon its ability to satisfy the values that a customer attach to any product, isn't it? So product analysis should precede the actual market research or the study of whole market and customer behavior. So behavior understanding of the customer is also important. So if you see the study in studying the market, you have to find out whether there is a market for your product, and if there is a market, where is it, and what is its characters, and what is the appropriate or approximate size that one have to think. So such research help to reduce the risk in making the wrong decision regarding the product and sale. So I want to say that before designing or before finalizing any product, or starting any product in the organization, uh, survey as well as the research of that product or future of that product, one have to first visualize, and then only he can actual go for implementing that product. So that is the thing. Again, the form of organization. So next what he have to decide, so he must decide what legal form of organization he can adopt for his business. So is it to be one man firm, or it is a partnership, or it is a proprietorship, or should he form a company, or if so, should it be a private or a public company. So all these things one have to consider, or one have to think what kind of organization you want to form. So in some examples in which new businesses entrepreneurs are launched, no real choice of legal form of ownership is available to the founder of the firm, isn't it? So such could be a case if the organization been considered where be a bank or the insurance business, or which must by a law be an incorporated company. So all these things have to be taken into consideration. So many people that a company could be the only feasible form of a organization from an operational point of view. So in the great majority of an instant, the entrepreneur have to study a number of major factors before deciding upon the form of an organization. So all the legal as well as the insurance business, as well as you have to take into consideration to decide the form of an organization. So decision regarding the choice of a form of organization, it needs a detailed consideration, and it is postponed to a end of a that whether all these factors, whether it is beneficial to his company to start in a partnership form, or to form a private or public company, or it can be a proprietorship. So based on the environment of that, based on the circumstances of the different things based on the environment conditions or based on the market demand, that one can decide which kind of a firm or which kind of a organization he can form. Okay, so these things are there one have to consider. Next is scale of operation and size of the unit. So this is also a very important point. So the proper scale for initial operation, it will be in some measures it depends on the degree of certainty of ultimate success. So where the experienced person back with an ample capital, he has an ample capital and enter upon the production of different articles. The first objective may be an attainment of economics of a large scale production, but where the establishment of a new enterprise involves the trying out of a number of experiments as to process or selling plan. So the initial scale of operation should be as small as the desired experimental knowledge. So where there is a strong element of uncertainties, investment of a permanent nature. So such as that for building or machineries and manufactured stock should be kept at a minimum level. So the small beginning has a many advantages. So if you see generally the proprietor are very closely in touch with all these details. So results are it may be a quickly realized. So if there is a success, the particular line of efforts can be followed promptly. So if there is a failure, a quick change will keep the losses within the small figures. So for example, in a few months or a year, the proprietor will have learned so many new things in relationship to managing the business. They can then expand their operations with confidence and run them skillfully. So long term and short term forecast of sales, it will help any enterpriser to decide upon the size of an establishment, isn't it? So again, the location of plant is very important. So next problem, it relates to the location of a plant or a factory. So this divides itself into determining the area and the specific site in the area, isn't it? So the choice should be based upon the careful consideration of all factors relating to the business of a particular enterprise. So if you see very often the very success of an operation of a plant, it depends upon the right choice of a location. So success generally, yes, it depends on the how where the plant it is located. The following factors usually the influence the selection of a location of a manufacturing plant: market for product, transport facilities, availability of a raw material, and dependable labors, and cost of location, and political aspects is also very important of location. So the good entrepreneur will however remember that all these are not an all these things have to be are equally important, and we will have to sort out the factors, and we have to see what are the advantages of different factors again one another before arriving at any location. So while choosing the site, it gives the you have to choose such a location that which gives a maximum economy, or we can give a maximum benefit to his plant. So all these things have to take into consideration if anyone to start his factory. Next is plant building and equipment. So here the next step is to make the preliminary study of a manufacturing process which has to be followed and the equipment to be used. So the exact determination of the nature and the sequence of manufacturing process will help decision regarding the characters of buildings, again machineries, again it may be an space, again the general layout of an establishment. So there are two difficulties with reference to an equipment to be purchased by new entrants who are more and less inexperienced. So the first difficulty is that the certain suppliers may take advantages of their ignorance. And second difficulty is that the new equipment must be tried out by workers not quite seasoned to their duties, with the result that the speed will be low and wear and tear heavy. So again, spoil work and the numerous accident it can takes place. So first difficulty can be it can be overcome by employing an expert agency to buy or advise a purchase of equipment. And the advice of a man of an experience is against the purchase of second-hand plant or machineries. So these things have to be. This is a very important point that one have to think. Next one is plant layout. So the next problem deals with the layout of a machineries and equipment of a good performance of work. So layout is important because the efficient layout of a plant can minimize the production cost, and the faulty arrangement of a machineries and equipment may slow down the work and rise the cost of production, and it may cause the dislocation of work. So before a layout plan is finalized, the information about the product to be manufactured or the quantity to be made in the period of a time, the machines needed, the buildings, the routine of work, the spacing of machines, again the material storage place, and the methods of handling the material it should be determined. So all this rough layout has to be first design, and then it can be further it can be think for implementation. So layout will depend upon the nature of a work to be done and what sequence one have to followed, isn't it? So this is enough for today's lecture. So in next lecture we will see next point, financial planning, labor force and managerial staff. Till then, thank you.